In this video, I'm going to show you how to build impulseSV's simple wither skeleton farm that he built on Hermitcraft Season 7 for yourselves. And starting off, this farm is a modified version of a raised works design that Impulse used, but he did modify some things to make it player killed, and he added other layers and stuff like that. But overall, it's actually a really simple farm, so it's pretty easy to build. Honestly, I'd say one of the hardest parts about building this farm is just finding the correct location, because if you find a good location like I'm in, and it's preferably in a soul sand valley and over lava for reasons we'll get to in a little bit, then it's going to be a lot easier. Your job will be much easier. And you are going to need to have a crossroads like this so that you can have a 19 by 19 spawning platform. And so, like I said before, if you find a soul sand valley, very few mobs spawn in soul sand valleys aside from skeletons and the very occasional endermen. And obviously ghasts, but it never spawns very many ghasts. So what that means for your farm is that the only spawn proofing you have to do is on the fortress itself. As you can see, there's plenty of mobs around here. The mob cap is being taken up, but that's because of this fortress. And if we went a little bit away from this fortress, like to unload it, if we watch the mob cap numbers will start to decrease down to 40, 30, and it goes down a significant amount as you go away from the fortress. There's barely any mobs loaded around here. But obviously, as we return to the fortress, the mob cap increases back up to 70. Oops, I did not mean to reload all the chunks there. I hit F4 instead. But that means that you only need to spawn proof the fortress parts of that, which is a lot easier than like all the surrounding land. Over lava is also helpful just because it removes yet more spawning locations. But anyway, so let's go ahead and start on this farm. And you're just going to start with netherrack, and you're going to make, well, you can see here, you're going to start with a 19 by 19 platform of netherrack, and it's going to be at floor level. 19 by 19, like from the very center block of the crossroads. Like you put a block in the middle, then you have 9 blocks on each side going out, and then you just fill in a border, and that's 19 by 19 from the very middle. Anyways, you're going to have this big of a platform, and you're going to have to just, well, you can replace all the nether brick and stuff with netherrack, and then we're going to have to do some other stuff. You're also going to need wither roses for this farm, which requires either getting a ton of wither roses from spawning a billion chickens and then blowing them up with the wither. It's one easy solution. Or you could make a wither rose farm, but both ways would be sufficient to get a large amount of wither roses. Once you have this 19 by 19 platform laid out, you can just go ahead and fill it in, and then you can also get rid of all the nether brick and just replace it with a netherrack. And there we go. There's a 19 by 19 platform of a netherrack in the middle of a crossroads here. And so now you're going to find the very middle of this, which should be on this block right here. You're going to punch a 3x3 hole in it, and then you can just leave that like that for the time being, because we're going to have to do some stuff with piglins and other falling areas for the wither skeletons. But now we can take some glass, or you don't actually have to take this, but we are just going to use some glass just to kind of like border it off and everything. It's, again, you don't have to do this, but just do this for the sake of the tutorial. And we're just going to build a 2-high glass wall all around this platform here. And now you're going to select one side of this, and you're going to punch out an additional 3 so that it's technically a 3x4 hole, and then it will be uneven. But now you can just get rid of any blocks that might be in the middle here, and then you'll just have a hole like that. And now we're actually going to go ahead and add the second layer to this thing, because Impulse's farm has 2 layers, and the second layer is actually on the bottom here, so it's a little different. Obviously, due to wither skeletons being 3 blocks tall and not 2 blocks tall, you're going to have a 3-block gap in between these layers here. And you're also going to have to just sort of remove what's left of this fortress in the inside here. And then you're going to build basically the exact same thing, a 19 by 19 layer. You're going to have the same kind of hole going through the middle of it where stuff can drop down and things like that. So go ahead and do that, and we'll come back to the recording when we're done building this bottom layer here. Well, there's 2 layers of this farm in, and there's already wither skeletons on both layers, so that's a good sign. And you're just going to have to spam wither roses over the tops of all these blocks here. Because of the fact that they don't center, it's going to be a little difficult sometimes to tell where you've placed them and where you haven't. But yeah, just do this on both layers, and we'll come back to the recording when we're done with mass wither rose spamming. Well, there's plenty of wither roses in here now, as you can see. But we gotta add in the middle parts of this farm and the places for the wither skeletons to fall down. So you're gonna start by putting a trapdoor right there. And you're gonna go out just into the middle of that block. So you're gonna have a trapdoor here, and then you're gonna have a block in the middle. But then you're gonna need to just place blocks like this, and this is so you can place trapdoors all around here on all sides except for this one right here. And you can remove all these blocks. Once you put them in, you're gonna place a block there, and you're gonna have a trapdoor right there on that side. So now before we put in a piglin, you're gonna need to place a block right there, and you're gonna place a turtle egg on top of it, and then we can get in the piglin. And you're gonna want to start by placing a solid block back there. Then up here, actually, then you're gonna want to remove that trap door. And now if we put in a piglin right here, and we do that to stop the piglin from getting out, we can go ahead and take a minecart, and we can place the minecart right there. And if we push this, the piglin will get into the minecart, and the piglin will sit in the minecart, and we can break this block over here. And we can, there's no minecart rails there. Okay, we don't have to do anything there. We can get rid of that trapdoor, and now we can place that trapdoor back just like that. And now the piglin is sitting there with the turtle egg above its head. Now what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to get a block right here so you can place a trapdoor on that side of it. And then you're going to go over here. You're going to place a trapdoor on that side. You're going to do that over here and over there. So trapdoor, trapdoor. And now you're going to place a trapdoor on top of each one of these and open them into the middle like that. And you can go ahead, you can place in a trapdoor in the middle. Actually, we can't because the turtle egg's there. Never mind. So you can place a trapdoor right there, and now this dude should be safe. So if we spawn any wither skeletons in here, these guys are going to get mad, and they're going to pathfind that way, and they're going to fall down there. But the drop chute's not actually fully done yet. It looks like this guy's sniping the dudes down here. That's pretty funny. We need to add a little bit more to make this actually, like, working with the drop chute. So you're going to take some walls. In this case, nether brick walls, just because the nether, we're going to place it right there and there. And now we're going to come down here, and we're actually going to build up another one of these things for the piglins. And we're going to have two blocks right there. Then we're going to have this big platform so we can place all the trapdoors in. Trapdoor, trapdoor, trapdoor there and there. But right here, you're going to have a trapdoor like that. Now we can break all these blocks, and we can place a solid block there. We can actually remove that trapdoor, and we can get in our turtle egg real fast. So the turtle egg needs to be right there. And then we can have a minecart right there. We can put block above it, and then actually have it be a slab so that, oops, or a trapdoor so the piglin can't get out. We can put a piglin in there. Then this dude can get in a minecart. Come on. There we go. He's in a minecart. Now we can break that solid block, and we can go over here. Actually, yeah, we can remove that as well. And we can put a trapdoor there. Now we can actually take a trapdoor and put it here. And then wall there, wall there. And that's pretty much what has to be done for the piglins. So now, wither skeletons, if they come down here, they're going to be like, oh no. And then you're going to go down there, they're going to fall. It's going to be excellent. And if we go up here, they will do the same thing. So, let me up. There we go. Wither skeletons, they get mad, they fall down, and they all go perfectly how they're supposed to go, which is good. So now you're going to take cobblestone, or you're going to take walls, and they're going to go down like this. And you're also going to get some blocks, and you're going to just have a chute that's like this for the wither skeletons. At that point, I had to figure out a lot of stuff like the height for dropping the wither skeletons, and where to put a lava blade to stop half the wither skeletons from dying to fall damage, because obviously the two platforms are at different height levels. But, well, it took me a while to figure it out, and it is going to look different when you see it again, because I had to drain some of the lava, because I had to actually extend it farther down into the lava. And so if you build it directly over lava, you will have to drain some lava, and if you build it like not over lava, you'll just have to dig down. But I do say specifically how far you need to dig down, and the lava blade is positioned 4 blocks underneath the bottom platform. And it's literally just a sign blocking some lava from falling down, so just a little bit of lava flows through the tunnel. You'll see what it is when I actually like show it. But yeah, I just wanted to explain that because it might seem a little confusing when I jump. From this platform, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27 blocks. And that's for this front side, but it's actually going to be 28 blocks because it has to go down one more. And then after 28 blocks of the walls and the glass, you're going to have soul sand at the bottom here. And you're going to then just put some hoppers underneath it for the collection system. Depending on where you want it to go, we'll just have it go that way. Any items will get sent in that direction. And we'll just make a rudimentary collection system over here. Impulse did like a big fancy thing with item sorters, which you are probably going to want to do. And I'll show you sort of how you do that, but I'm not going to like go super in depth on that because it's pretty easy. He actually did do a like a dropper elevator thing, but you could actually, if you wanted to instead, you could just do the glass tube elevator trick, which is a much easier. So I'll show you how to do that in a second. So we place the dropper, and we're gonna have to put blocks above that like that in that pattern. And then now we're just gonna use a simple clock here. We're just gonna put a repeater there. We're gonna put a comparator and then redstone, and then we can have a hopper right there with an item in it. That'll just be a constant clock. You can turn it off by getting rid of the item if you want to, so you only need one. Anyways, now you can build this up as far as you want, and this is an alternative to the dropper elevator, which is more work. So as you can see, if we kill these guys in here like that, then all their stuff is going to get sent up that tube, and it'll just get spit out the top. The way you can funnel that and make it actually go where you want it to go is just by placing some ice. In this case, oops, did not spell that correctly. You can place some blue ice there. So this right here is the pattern that you'd want to have at the top to get the items in. But then you can just have like some hoppers going off in that direction. And then down here, you could actually put in your sorting systems. You can have hoppers facing in that direction. You can place in the sorting system. So you'd have two hoppers like that, and then you would take your blocks like this. You would extend that out 3, and then you go down. Then you'd have blocks right there, and then blocks right there. Actually, we're gonna have to, where'd my repeater go? There we go. We're gonna have to break that block, just place in those repeaters. And then over here you can put in comparators, and then you can get redstone dust, place it on those blocks, and then you can take the torch. You can place the torches right there. Then you can have just hoppers going down, and then you can start your double chests right here for the collection area. So double chest, oops, and then right here double chest and double chest like that. And then if we come around to the back here, we can place in our hoppers that go into that, and then we can configure these to sort items. So let's have that be for bones. We can have that be for coal. Obviously, you'd want one for skulls, and you can also just have an automatic dropper at the end that gets rid of excess items and the stone swords and everything. But now, if we were to kill these guys over here, all the stuff would get picked up, and then the bones would go in there, and any coal would just go into this right here. And anything else that's not configured to be sorted will just stay right here. And you can have that get auto-dropped or whatever. You're going to have probably a third one. You might actually want to have doubles of these item collection areas so that you don't run out of room, because this farm is going to drop a lot when you have looting and when you have it completely spawn proofed. As you can see, there's even wither skeletons coming down here, and it's not actually spawn proofed yet. So yeah, you're going to want to have more storage and stuff like that. But this is just an example of what you can do. Let's disable that because that's really annoying. And now all of this part down here is done. You can expand this as much as you want. You can decorate it how you want. This just needs to come down the 28 blocks like this before you get to the soul sand. Let's come up here and talk about what's going on. So yeah, this is the reason that having crossbow piglins isn't always the best thing. Like, literally every single piglin I spawned had a crossbow, so I just had to go with it. But otherwise, they'll fight back, and they'll sometimes kill some of the wither skeletons. And yeah, those guys went down just fine. But now let's talk about spawn proofing, because yeah, that's a thing that you have to do still. Luckily, we chose this location in a soul sand valley over lava because all that really needs to be spawn proofed is this fortress. And when I mean this fortress, I mean you gotta place slabs or buttons or carpets. Well, actually, no, not carpets, because burning in fire, but you have to place some kind of spawn proofing block on every single piece of Nether fortress. In other words, every part of this thing needs to be covered to stop spawning everywhere except for this farm, which is tedious, but it's not as bad as having to go and spawn proof like additional land around here, because so few mobs already spawn in soul sand valleys that it's kind of ideal. Anyways, you're gonna want to basically just spawn proof any exposed nether brick. That's just a good thing to do. Tops of everything, the interiors, all of that needs to be covered. If you want, you could stop after maybe like 60 blocks away from the farm if you wanted. Now it'd probably be okay unless you see spawns over there. But yeah, anything that's within at least like 50 blocks of this farm. Probably more than that, you're gonna need to spawn proof. So I'm gonna do at least some spawn proofing here to get a better idea of how fast this farm is gonna be. We've already had wither skeletons spawn, so it's already working decently well. But it'll work even better once it's spawn proofed. Well, we've got a lot more wither skeletons coming in now because I spawn proofed the entire fortress, which took a minute. Although, yes, you'll notice there are some still spawning over here, and that's because of the extended spawning areas around these kinds of formations here. Like, with this area, it's because of these crossroads. Well, actually, I don't get how stuff is spawning up here. Maybe it must be because this is such a low ceiling. In which case, you can add some more spawn proofing up here. I'm not going to for the sake of this, because basically all of the rest of this is spawn proofed, even into that area. But you can add just a little bit if you want. But either way, there's plenty of wither skeletons coming down here now. If we enchant this with a looting 3, we'll see that we get even more items and even more skulls. So there's like a pretty constant stream of these guys now. If you look in here, there are bones. Look in here, there should be coal. Looks like there's not enough coal yet. And over here we've got excess stuff that didn't make it through. This area has a backlog of stuff, at least, well, I think it does. Yeah, it does. Anyways, well, this thing is all working. It could have even more spawn proofing, but I think it's just fine for today's tutorial. Oops. There we go. Yep, see, there's lots of guys spawning up there coming down. That glowing effect is so nice for stuff like this. Anyways, I think that concludes our tutorial on Impulse's/Razorworks Wither Skeleton Farm, because Impulse built it, but then he modified parts of it for player killing and stuff. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this tutorial, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe with notifications on. Let's see if we can get to 25 likes. Let's see if we can get that like goal. That would be pretty epic. And also, as of recording this video, we are getting pretty close to 700 subscribers, so thank you all so much for the support. It means a lot. Anyways, also, there is a Discord that you can go join. The link is in the description. I need to figure out how to get a link that doesn't expire. I probably can do that, but I need to figure out if I can get links that don't expire, because that's a thing, which is annoying. Anyways, once again, I've been Speed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video or live stream. Bye.